let's start. In this particular episode, the episode actually begins with a flashback of Liandrin. So basically her origin story, if you will. I have a question, but I know that the two of you, especially Britt, was interested in talking about Liandrin. And so, Britt, what you got about this?
So I thought it was really interesting to see how she, in the opening scene, how she had the baby, she killed her husband and the servant, and she stomped his head like, gots to go. And then it was dope how old dude from the first episode, the evil one, what was his name? Ishmael came to her as she was walking through the city and grabbed her hand and was like, do you need some help? When everybody else was casting her off to the side, but the darkness was like, I will help you. And so when she saw that he helped her at her lowest moment, she had an allegiance to him. And I was like, oh, now it all makes sense. So he was with her at the bottom until now she at the top. And then I like how old girl, the dream walker, what's her name?
Lanfear.
Lanfear came to her in her dream and was like, this is where you've been at. You want to be on the throne. All right. So that was dope. And I like the costumes in the scene too.
Elliot.
Ooh, okay, Brittany, you did a stellar job, by the way. Okay, just kind of unpacking that entire scene. I am for an origin story, and I'm also a sucker for a villain's backstory, because now we come to kind of see Liandrin as a villain. However, I love to see how it all started. Okay, she was a young girl taken advantage of, then she gets attached to this child that she's just birthed, and they're still trying to take advantage of her. And so she kind of comes to her power in that moment, literally off with your heads in that scene. So I love to see that. Then, she kind of goes back childlike and helpless, looking for anybody who will help her. And of course, here we are, the devil. You look right there to lend a helping hand. Hey, are you okay? Like Britt says, as everybody else has pretty much ignored you, cast you aside. You're full of blood, born baby, and no one is trying to help her. So you're at your lowest point, and there the devil is right there, And so to me, it was a power play on the side of the dark, because, okay, now it's not just checkers, it's chess. I'm playing the long game. If I can get in this young girl's head at this age and say, oh, look what I did for you, how I helped you, how I plucked you from the place that you were in when everyone cast you aside, that is an alliance that you're going to have forever. And so it's like, okay, so now we get to see kind of how Liandrin got to be where she was. So I appreciated that piece of it, especially because I'm always kind of, I hate this, it sounds bad, but I want to root for the villain, sometimes, because you didn't start that way. You absolutely didn't start that way. Something pushed you over the top.
Okay, so I have two questions. Since you all kind of laid the groundwork as it relates to Liandrin, I have two questions, all right? So first, Liandrin wants to maintain control of the Black Aja. She doesn't want to die, and ultimately she wants to be a Forsaken. Of course, they've already established that she wants power. That's her motivation. To what extent, however, is Liandrin willing to go for this power? I want to start with Britt first. To what extent is Liandrin willing to go for this power?
She's about to do whatever she got to do. She killing whoever she got to kill to get the power. She got a collar. She got to find the collar in the castle. Lanfear done told her, if you don't do it, you're going to wish you had done it. So kill the girl. I loved it. And I like that. I like that scroll she put out where she was showing them, like, this is, they had a man collared with 2 eyes to die. I was like, all right.
Hell yeah.
Liandrin for me is very, very layered. So whereas I do feel like she's for the dark, she's gone far, she still has a bottom line though. I feel like she still has a bottom line, because whereas she killed her own sister, okay, the little person, I'm gonna put it that way, Naomi, I think is her name.
The Black Aja.
She knocked her off with no problem. When they arrived in the city, which the moment she saw that girl being taken advantage of and trying to get they're trying to wed her to this old man, she has this thing in her that needs to save this young girl because she sees herself in her. So I feel like she's willing to do some power plays, but I feel like she still has a bottom line. I do.
So since you mentioned that, you kind of stole my thunder, but I will go to this. Even though we've seen all that we've seen about Liandrin, is she someone that cannot be redeemed? In other words, can she be redeemed?
I think she can be redeemed, but I don't think she's gonna be redeemed because she has allegiance to the dark side. So I don't think she's gonna come back from it because the only leverage they would have had was her son, and her son is gone, right?
Correct. He died.
He passed away. That's the only leverage that she has to this world. Everything else she don't really care about.
Elia?
You know, I'm kind of a softie. I don't think she's beyond redemption. I don't. I feel like she's gone really far, but again, there's something there. There's a bottom line. She has a, what do you call it? I keep saying bottom line, but that's not really the phrase that I want to use. But I don't think she's beyond redemption. I don't, because for you to be able to just not even stomach the thought of this young girl being taken advantage of, you still have a heart. You're not completely heartless. So that means you're not beyond redemption, because otherwise you don't know this girl. You came here on a mission and you don't even, that wasn't part of the plan. You saw that and it immediately bothered you. You got a soul. I think she can be redeemed.